Don't go to Costco without a plan. Well, what do I mean by that? First, let me tell you a story. I'm known as the Costco guy. I love Costco. In fact, I have loved the bulk stores for decades. And when I was in college, I'm not even 18, 19 years old. I'm in college and I was a Sam's Club guy. In the town I went to school in, Fullerton, California, there was both Costco and Sam's Club. I went to both, checked everything out, liked the items at Sam's Club more, so I was a Sam's Club guy through college. And then as I moved away, I went to a town, they didn't have a Sam's Club, so I switched over to Costco, and Costco is a lot more popular now as a bulk store than Sam's Club is, depending on what region you're in. But regardless, I've always loved getting that deals. That's the point of managing money well. We like to get those deals so that we can save money and do what? Put that money to use toward our ideal life, whether that's an experience or another purchase or our future savings or whatever it may be. So I love getting a deal, so don't get me wrong there. But you need to go to Costco when you have a plan, not just whimsical. Now, I'm disciplined enough and I created a system where I would actually go to Costco. I would wander the aisles because that's what I did sometimes, and I wouldn't buy a thing. And that's okay. That worked for me because I just loved being at Costco. But most people don't have that system. They go to Costco because they need some items. They're going to go their weekly shopping, their monthly shopping, whatever, and they end up seeing these deals. And granted, they're great deals sometimes. But just because it's a deal doesn't mean it's a deal. And what I mean by that is because you're getting bulk items, or you're getting a 3-pack of something or a 10-pack of something, and you'll pay less per unit, or less per ounce, or less per pound, or less per gram, or whatever your metric system or your regular US system is. So you'll get a deal on that. But how long will that item last? Now, this is the running joke about these bulk places, is that the old joke is you buy a 5-gallon bucket of mayonnaise. How long is that going to last you? Yeah, you get it less per ounce, but it'll last you 5 years, 10 years, right? That's the joke. Now, 5 gallons of mayonnaise, unless you're going to a party or a barbecue or something like that where there's a bunch of people, yes, it will last you a while. But then there's also the storage issue. That's what I wanted to talk about today is, are you actually getting the deal when you buy in bulk? Now, monetarily, you're getting the deal because you're getting less per ounce, less per gram, or whatever. But how long will that item last you? I'll give you an example. In my house, I bought a Costco paper towel pack, and it's like 18 or 24 rolls of paper towels. Now you think, well, what's wrong with that? Paper towels keep, they don't go bad. And that's true. But it also keeps storage space. It takes up storage space. And if you don't have a lot of storage space and you're actually low on cash or are not organized in managing your money well, then there's a problem here. Because what you're doing is when you store items on a shelf or in a pantry or something, you're storing money there. Think about it that way. You're storing money on that shelf. Now, again, you're going to get a better deal if you buy an 18 or 24 pack of paper towels than you would if you would go to the local grocery store or household store and buy them in a 2-pack or a 3-pack, for sure. But if you're short on cash, if in my example, the paper towels, if they lasted 9 months or 10 months, then I'm figuratively putting money on that shelf or in that pantry for 9 months. So here's a hack for that. So yes, I understand you want the deal. I want the deal too. So most times you're going to say, well, this is worth it because the paper towels don't actually go bad. But here's a hack. Why don't you look for somebody that is in your world to membership share or to family share your items with? So instead of having 9 months worth of something or a year worth of something, then share that with a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, something like that. Where, let's say in my example again, you buy paper towels, let's say it's 18, so you're going to have 9 for you and 9 for your neighbor or your family member or your friend. and you split the cost that way. That way you're not storing money in that pantry for 9, 10, 11, 12 months. Some items like ketchup, mustard, mayo, relish, all these things, it will take a long time to go through because they're big bottles. And in the old days, they used to sell them by 3-gallon buckets of ketchup and mustard and mayo. Now they're doing a lot better job at giving you a 3-pack or a 4-pack of, they're still large bottles of these condiments, but at least they've split it up so you don't have to open it, so it's not like open for 9 months and you're like, by the time you get down to the bottom of it, it's like, I'm not sure I want to eat this, even though these are preserves and they do last a while. Sometimes they don't last that long. And so you actually end up wasting some of these grocery items, especially, and you throw them away. So if it's produce and you buy a big bag of broccoli and you go through half of it, well, do some math. Figure that out. Okay, well, wait a second. If every time I throw away some produce, yes, I'm getting the bag cheaper, but if I'm not wasting the food, and I buy a smaller bag from a grocery store and it costs me $3 more, then, well, maybe that was the better deal because I'm not wasting it. So maybe I spent $6 on the 3 times as much broccoli, but I wasted half of it. If that's the case, you only consumed $3 worth of broccoli anyway, and you literally threw out half of the broccoli, right? That doesn't really make sense. So you have to know yourself, know your tendencies, and then know your budget, know your numbers, and know the numbers of the comparison prices at the stores, the local stores that you have around. Do some of that math. Don't just buy stuff at Costco and Sam's Club and Walmart and the big other box stores just because they say it's a good deal. Sometimes it's not as good of a deal because when you do that math to go over how long it's going to take to consume it, how long it's going to last you, how much money you're storing on that shelf or in that pantry or in that fridge or in that freezer, it might not be a good deal for you. It might be a good deal in the monetarily speaking, but it might not be a good deal for you because you're wasting it or it's taking too long to go through, or you maybe need that money to go to other things. If you are low on cash, instead of spending $14 on mayonnaise, spend $4 on mayonnaise, a smaller one that'll last you a shorter period of time, and use that $10 to do something else, especially when you're strapped for cash. So do some math and know yourself. Don't go to these places when you're hungry. You shouldn't go grocery shopping when you're hungry anywhere, but let alone some of these big places, because then you're like, oh, I like that and I like that and that sounds good and this is a good deal and this is on sale, and then your basket is full and you end up leaving that place $400 or $500 later, and that's $300 more than you should have been spending on your groceries in the first place because you are strapped for cash or you're low on cash this month or something else happened that you needed to allocate money toward. Just be aware of that and be aware of yourself and your tendencies. Do I like the big shiny new object that's there and I'm going to buy that bicycle because it's only $800 when I can, normally it's $1,200. Well, if that is you and you're tempted to do that, just be really aware and be careful when you see some of these deals that are out there. Do you really need that? You can go through another item or another blog that I did on want versus need. Do you really need that or do you just want that? You got to take that into consideration. All right, so when you go to places like Costco, you need to have a plan. Get to know yourself, figure that out, get to know your numbers, and then you're going to be way better off. And the big hack here is do a membership share. Even if you share the whole membership, you can cut costs there, and you can, have one person, if you're really close, right? This is living in community. One person can go with their membership and buy items, and then you split that cost, and it makes it so easy. Now you can actually share, you can Venmo somebody or you can PayPal somebody the cost for the items that they provided for you. Split that. It lasts a lot shorter time, and you're going to save a lot of that storage space, and you're going to save that money being stored as well. All right, so I hope that tip was helpful. I just thought I'd talk about Costco because I dream about Costco and I love Costco, and you might even see me at a Costco sometimes. I post about Costco. That's just me. But you need to have a plan going into it, just like I have a plan going into it. Is you got to be really careful when you go to places like this, because you will see those deals and they're very tempting just to get it because you want to get it instead of you should get it because you need it or you're going to actually use it. All right, hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.